This is the video for the vocabulary for comets, asteroids, and meteors. So first, on your table of contents, you need to add the next 5 pages, which is page 26, which is the planet chart that you turned in this week. Page 27, which is how to remember the planet standard, which we will be going over in class this week. Pages 28 and 29 is vocabulary for S6E1F, which is the comet, asteroid, and meteor standards. And then your Cornell notes from the other video will go on to page number 30. So that is the comets, asteroids, and meteors Cornell notes. So once you have filled in your table of contents, we will begin to go over the vocabulary words that go with comets, asteroids, and meteors. So first, we have in your table of contents on page 2 of your spiral notebook, right in the blank space next to numbers 28 and 29, vocabulary for S6E1F, which you should have already done from the previous slide. Number 2, on page 28 of your spiral notebook, you need to write the unit essential question, the lesson essential question, and the learning objective. So the unit essential question has stayed the same since we're still in the same unit. How has our understanding of the universe changed? The lesson essential question is what other objects are included in the solar system, and our learning objective is I can describe the characteristics of comets, asteroids, and meteors, which is standard S6E1F. Then number 3, after you have written the unit essential question, lesson essential question, and the learning objective, you need to write the words and definitions below onto page 28 and use page 29 to finish. So there are only 6 vocabulary words for comets, asteroids, and meteors. So number 1, the comet, this is going to be the longest definition that we have to do. So a comet is a space object moving around the sun in a highly long and narrow orbit consisting of an ice nucleus surrounded by an envelope of dust and gas called the coma that may form a tail that streams away from the sun. It is also known as a dirty snowball. So that all comes from the last video on your Cornell notes. So that's a long definition that includes everything that you need to know about the comet. Number 2, the asteroid. This is any of the thousands of larger bodies made of rock that revolve about the sun in orbits lying mostly between those of Mars and Jupiter. So remember, an asteroid is the pieces of rock that were left over. Number 3, the asteroid belt. This is the region of space between the orbits of Mars and Jupiter in which most asteroids are located. So when we talk about the asteroid belt, that's the actual space between Mars and Jupiter where they are. A meteoroid. Remember, this is something that is still in space because it's the same as an asteroid. It says any of the small bodies of rocks or dust, often pieces of comets or asteroids, traveling through space. So remember, they both end in OID, which means that they are still in space. Asteroid is the big pieces of rock, and meteoroids are the smaller pieces of rock. A meteor is a meteoroid that has entered the Earth's atmosphere and begins to burn up due to friction. It is also known as a shooting star. So remember, this is the meteoroid that comes into the Earth, starts to burn up and makes the light, and we call that the shooting star. Then number 6, a meteorite is a mass of stone or metal that has reached the Earth from outer space. A meteoroid, or a fallen meteoroid, that strikes the surface of the Earth. So remember, a meteorite is a mass of stone or metal that has reached the Earth from outer space. A fallen meteoroid that strikes the surface of the Earth. So remember, this is the meteor that comes through our atmosphere, makes it through because it doesn't all burn up, and actually strikes the Earth and leaves a crater, or it can strike the moon and leave a crater on the moon. So remember, meteoroid is in space, meteor is the shooting star in our atmosphere, and meteorite has hit the Earth's surface. So those are our 6 vocabulary words. Again, we have comet, asteroid, asteroid belt, meteoroid, meteor, and meteorite. So those are the 6 vocabulary words, and in class we will be working on work that will help us describe the characteristics of the comets, asteroids, and meteors, since that is our standard over these particular space objects. So make sure you have the words and definitions written down on pages 28 and 29 of your notebook, and we will see you in class.